Alright guys, this is Ranger 4321 again, and today I'm going to do a video about camouflaging your rifle on a budget. Now, I just came across this by accident. I was trying to do another project and camouflaging a helmet for the helmet project, and I realized that these colors I was painting were pretty much multicam, for lack of a better term. And this is just on regular burlap, and I'll show you the colors I was using. These are just your standard colors from the model department in a hobby store. I've got your flat dark earth, not dark earth, sorry, dark green from Model Master. I've got Africa mustard to simulate the tan, which it's not so much tan as it is yellow, a yellowish tan. I've also got the light earth and your standard olive drab. And this is what I did before off camera, just to show y'all what it will look like sort of on a rifle. And I cut these holes out for the knobs, adjustment knobs, and I think I probably won't do that on this one. I'm going to do this one in front of y'all so y'all can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Basically, you have two shrouds for your rifle, and if you're wondering, no, this does not impede my vision. I can still get a clear sight picture with my scope and probably pull off a round with fairly decent accuracy. But I will not be using this. This was just like a test run. I took these off for different projects, like I said, and I was using these colors to paint a helmet and decided against it, so I figured why not put it on the rifle and see what happens. So I'm going to take these off. Alright, put these behind the rifle. Now, what you'll need is camouflage paint, of course, and at least 15 foot of burlap from your local hobby store. I was suggesting a wider version of burlap. This roll I got was about $7, maybe $10, but it works for now. I'm probably going to end up getting a wider piece of burlap eventually and doing this again. You'll need about a 3-foot piece of burlap cut out, and then cut off the edges, which is this stuff right here. You can either cut it off or tear it off. I would suggest tearing it off. That way you get this fray. Just this little piece of twine, and you'll end up having all these pieces, which will come in handy when you go to tie it together. That way you don't have to use twist ties or anything that's bright colored. That'll give away your position. I've got two long pieces that's about 18 to 20 inches long right here that I will use to tie it down, probably around this area. I've got about 4 to 5 inch long strands to help tie it down. I've got some scissors. What I did with this piece, when I realized what I had with those other two pieces, I was like, okay, well, let's try it again. So went outside, put some leaves down, and I started out with a coat of olive drab. It gave it that nice dull green finish, and I left the leaves on there kind of by accident. I forgot they were there, and so I proceeded to go with a brown, with the light earth brown, and sprayed it over the entire piece as well. And then I realized, you know, the leaves were there, so I took them off, and I had the regular burlap color underneath, giving it sort of off-white color. And then I moved the leaves around, and then I shot it again with some of this dark green and a little bit more of the olive drab. Then I finished up with a very, very light coat of this Africa mustard. You probably can't even tell it's there. I held it probably about a foot and a half, 2 feet away, and just let the droplets go on top of it to give it a little bit more camouflage effect. So let's begin. One of the first things I did was I tried to measure out where I was going to need to put these holes, and as you can see, there's a difference between the one that I did before and this one. I had these cut out for the adjustment knobs. I didn't leave this flap on there. I decided to put this flap back on there, or not cut out completely, so it would cover up the top knob so it won't be seen. The side knobs don't really need it because it'll stick out enough to where I can just get to them real quick. And I already tied the front part here to where it will go over the muzzle and flash hider pretty effectively. And so it'll be a little blast here, but it'll only help anchor this part right here up a good bit to give it more camouflage and break up the pattern of the rifle a bit more. So when you put it on, you want to put over the tight end first, that way you know it's going to be secure on there, and then put it on top like that. And that's the basic gist of what you're going to be doing. Let's see if we can get that a little better. It covers up a little bit, and I'll eventually open this up so I can see it a little bit better. But right now we're going to work on tying it right here a little bit loosely, and probably putting a tie around here loosely. And that'll be interesting to do considering the bipod is there. I'm probably putting a tie through here to let it sit out a little bit to where it's more secure, and maybe another one back in through here to the back of the scope. That way it's sort of secure. Alright, let's see. A little brown mark there is where I want to tie it off at. Now when you're tying it, it's kind of difficult. I'm going to set these aside for right now and use one of these small pieces. It's difficult in that you have to keep these frayed edges apart from one another enough to where you can differentiate where your tie strap is from these frays. So I'm going to adjust the camera a little more. There we go. Alright. Okay, there's the piece. So I follow it to the edge. Now what I generally do is I go about 3 squares in to tie it. That way there's enough fabric there that it doesn't tear out. You just put through the hole and you tie it on one end completely. Just your standard, like you're tying your shoe up pretty much. Just like that. It's okay if you have a little part sticking out, it's just going to help it look a little bit better. Now try to follow it again. Okay, about right here. Now you're going to end up with a little bit more tying string than you need, and that's fine. You can cut some of it off, or you can loop it back around, make a stronger stronger tie. It does not matter. I'm just going to tie it once for the sake of the video. Once again, go about 3 to 4 squares in. And if you need to, you can make the squares a bit bigger to make it easier to get these things in there. You want to pull it to where it's not quite touching but close, about like that. And you want to make sure that, like I said, you don't want to confuse these frays with the actual part you're using to tie with. And so I just push them aside for a moment. And you can make whatever kind of tie you want to. Make sure it's snug. Go ahead and make another one. So just for good measure. There we go. That way it won't go past the end of the barrel here, hopefully. Okay, let's try it out and see where we're at. Let's see. Get the thing. Nope, wrong way. Alright, let's try it out. Got hung up right there, which is fine. Alright, so far so good. Not too bad. You can pull it back, you can do whatever you want to with it. And like I said, it's going to look a lot better once everything is tied down properly. Now with this part, I don't know, I think I'll leave it alone. Go back up to here, get that tie ready, and then do this one. And this isn't meant to really camouflage the rifle from the side, really. It's meant to do it from the front. However, if you get a longer piece, you can probably do it from the side. Let's say you come down to there, it'll do a pretty good job. But I'm not too worried about that. This is just an idea I had. Okay, now we'll go ahead and work on this. I'm going to save this for later because I want to be sure to get the right spot and not, you know, mess it up to where you've got too many holes so people can see the black there. Alright. We'll go about here. And for that part, I'll use another small piece of string. Okay. About right here. Go down to the third hole, widen it a little bit. And then tie it off. This is where patience is really important. It definitely helps to have patience when doing this because it can be a bit nerve-wracking whenever you try to do it and it doesn't work out right, or you can't find the right piece and you end up pulling one of these. It's a pain in the butt. Alright. Try to fold it again. There. Now this one I'll probably tie down a little bit tighter than this one, simply because I want it to come around this a little bit tighter and have it pop out on here so I can get these a little bit better. Alright. The third one down. Move these apart. Go about like that. There we go. As you can see, there's a lot of string left on that one, which is fine. And just tie it off. This is another way too, that if you want to camouflage your rifle without painting it or hydro dipping it, it's pretty inexpensive. These cans, this can was about $5 for this, and the rest of them are about $7. And you can get coupons for however much percentage off these products at some of these stores, apps. Okay. Tie it up one more time just for good measure again. And then let's cut it off. About even with the other ones. Alright, now let's see how that goes. Okay. Goes on up again. That just slid right on there, just like I was supposed to. There we go. It's about the right effect. And if you want to, you can make these edges about as angry as you want to just by taking some of these fibers out of it. And these are long ones, so it'll take a little bit longer, but it makes these edges fray more. And the good thing about this is you can use this as like a base color, base camouflage, and then stick vegetation in here if you wanted to make it even better. And see how these, it's open on the sides here, so I don't have to make one of these flaps. I can just get up here and turn the knobs. Alright, turned out pretty good. Let's see, the next one we want to do is between these two. Alright. There we go. Flip it around so y'all can see. Get a little small piece of string. Let's see. There's the camera again. We'll go right here. Alright. Don't think I got it just yet. Sometimes it helps to twist these fibers. Make sure you twist them in the right direction. There we go. Come on now. There it goes. Alright. Again, patience is a virtue on this. There's that. And with this one, we're going to probably make it a little bit tighter than this one. That way it hugs the scope a little bit more. Follow that one up. Makes it a lot easier when you straighten it out. Okay, right about there. It doesn't have to be exact when you're doing this on the other side, but close is good. Alright, bring that down. Now you can do this and just make it close, but that's a little bit too tight in my opinion. Go around. Okay, there's a little piece. That's what I mean about how it gets lost easily because of all the frays. Pull it up. Okay. Let me do that one more time. And there we go. Again, cut that off. Now let's see where we're at. Alright. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tight on there, which is good. Let's see. I could probably do it the other way. Start at the back. Maybe I did a little bit too tight. Take off this scope cap. Try it now. There we go. Now it should just come up and over. There it goes. All right. Well, I guess I messed it up a little bit too much there. Got a little bit too tight. Let's cut that, and we can just elongate it a little bit. No big deal. Let's get one of these longer pieces. Okay, about there. That's what I said, to have all that stuff there. That way you can use it time and time again if you want to. Okay, let's try it again. There's that piece. This time not quite as tight. Do about like that. And again. Okay. There we go. This will work. Try to get the front part of the scope. And here's the back part. Try to get these lined up right. And there we go. Now it doesn't have to be tight. Like I said before, the looser probably the better. That way it's not, you know, smack up against your scope or your rifle and it gives the outline of a rifle immediately. So as loose as you can get it without it falling off. Okay, we'll work on this now. All right. So it's just about 4 of this. Let's see. Perhaps the best way to do that would be with a knife. You don't want to make it too obvious that there's a scope there. but try to make these come apart, these frays come apart a little bit easier. Sometimes you can do it by hand as well. It actually works a little bit better. Just pull them towards the outside. And down. Okay, let's see if that falls where it needs to fall at. Yep, just about perfect. You can tell how it breaks up the outline from the front. Let's see if I can get this camera to work right. There we go. And that's how it should look from the front. And again, you can stick vegetation in there wherever you want it to go and make it look better. I guess while we're at it, we could also help to make this more repeatable. We put a strap right there. Let's see. See if it works like that. Yeah, for the sake of the video, I'll just do this right now. There you go. And you can tell it could probably just look like a log in the woods. So, and I may end up cutting that flap off because that could be a flag, I guess, if somebody was looking for the right thing. And this covers the muzzle enough to where it's not an issue. And it should not affect accuracy. The reason I say that is because once there's blast from here, which will happen before the round comes out, this will be pushed up and away, kind of probably like that. So you won't have any issues with the muzzle. This is just kind of a quick way to camouflage your rifle on a budget. Like I said, I came across this by accident, complete accident, because I was working on a hat or a helmet project. And I'll show you, I was able to acquire the helmet for the project, and it is a CVC helmet. And this was made in 2012. And it's a ballistic helmet. Got a nice little sand texture to it. And I think what we end up doing with this, because I don't want to ruin the finish on it, is just modifying a multicam helmet cover for an ACH. Just do it that way. This is sort of a tease for what's coming up. It'll be kind of fun. Gotta do some drilling, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe, and hope you liked the video.